Hi, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and I am going to embark on one of the things that I have been putting off, but I feel like this needs to be done before the holidays. This is my cookbook that I actually put together like 2 years ago, and I have found out quickly that with all the recipes that I use, that I did not have enough sleeves, and so I started jamming them in here, and I started laying them on top. I started writing them on notepads. I mean, it's really totally chaotic, and I have just stuff in here just to stuff. Well, anyways, this was the way that I was going to organize it at the time. And then last year for Christmas, my mother gave me this book. If that tells you how long it has been since I have decided to do what I finally need to do, and that is to organize my cookbook. Now, this book is really nice. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it comes with these to write down your recipe on and put in here between the sections that are labeled on the one side. I don't like that because I'm a very messy baker, so I bought these sheet protectors, and I bought the biggest thing of sheet protectors that I could get from Walmart, and I think that they were under $5. I have quite a few of them already in this book. If you can see, I have here several of them that's in these sheet protectors. I really like that. I'm going to work on this for a little while. Hopefully I can come up with a system and then come back and show you exactly the finished product on what I do. So, I'm probably going to be here a while, so we'll see what I come up with. Okay, I'm back. I've been sitting here at the table for about 2 hours. I had to go to my computer desk and type out a few handwritten items that I had. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's dark outside, and there I am sitting at the table. It is almost midnight, and this is what I choose to do on a Friday night. When I was younger, I hung out with friends and had a life. This is what I have reduced myself to, is sitting at the kitchen table organizing my cookbook. But nevertheless, this is a project that I have put off way too long. So I wanted to show you quickly how I organized it. But before I do want to say that cookbooks and family recipes, they are a reflection of what our family is. It's what our family generations past have passed down to us. And so I kind of take, well, I don't kind of, I really take my recipes to be serious. What I really wanted to do was to divide a system in this book in which one day, I know I don't have daughters, but maybe one day I'll have daughter-in-laws. What I would like to do is to be able to just pull this book out and copy it on a copy machine and make their own book for them as a wedding gift. Or if my sons don't get married and they have their first home or their first place. I have sons that enjoy cooking, and I can make copies of all this and they can have it, because I can't tell you how many times I have called my mom and go, how did you make this? How did you make this? Especially the first 2 or 3 years that I was married. And so I thought this would be a really good idea. Now, first thing in organizing this, and I'm sorry about the light, the kit that my mother bought me, it was this book, and then inside it had these, and then it had tabs. Well, I had already devised a system that I liked, because with this system I can actually just take my label maker and just print out what I want my sections to be, which I really liked. I have holidays, sweet treats, vegetables, meat, dinner, seafood, kid stuff, dog treats, excuse me, breads, and I do cook Jewish food, so I have a section for Jewish food, basically kosher recipes, salads, casseroles, and freezer meals. I'm not sure how well you can see that with the light. That might be a little bit better for you there. Now, I got this system from Office, I think it was Office Depot, and I really liked it. I think it's Alejandra Costello, I believe is how you say her name, and I started watching some of her videos, and she suggested this system, and right away I loved it and decided to kind of make it my own. Now, one thing I don't like about these papers is that they are very flimsy, and I would really like to be able to find a system like this that was laminated or perhaps printed on a really thick cardstock, because as you can see, it wrinkles up really easily, and I don't like that. It kind of makes it messy, and maybe I'm just being anal about it, but that's the only thing I really don't like. As you can see, each section had a number. So this is a number, and then you come to the first one, which I wanted to show you. This is a recipe that was written out on this pretty little card. It's a Christmas card by my mother-in-law. And yes, the title is White Trash. It is a like a trail mix that she used to make for gifts. It's really delicious, but it's in her handwriting, and you only get that once. And I thought what would be very special is to be able to keep those things that are in, you know, your loved one's handwriting. It would be a nice keepsake for my kids to have one day. But as you can see, I had just put all my recipes that's in here, and then between the sections I used these, but what I did was these were labeled on the ends. It came with the kit. I just cut that off, but I thought if I kept this in here, because these papers are so flimsy, perhaps that would give it a little bit of protection, and I kind of like that. Here's another one that is handwritten. This is banana pudding. It's a homemade banana pudding recipe that came from a lady whose name is Faye, and I went to church with her. And she's an older lady, and it meant a whole lot to me to get this recipe from her, and she even signed her name at the bottom. And I thought it was really sweet, and I wanted to make sure that I kept that. I like the fact that these sheets, certainly you can put a recipe on the front and the back, and the sheets protect your paper from getting any type of food stains, and of course I think I already have achieved that. This is a cake that I actually made my son for his birthday. It's pigs. And it's Kit Kat bars around the edging. And then I kept that picture that I printed out, and then behind it I put the icing recipe that I used to make the mud. And what I thought would be really cute to add to this is, like, if there is a specific special memory that you make with your kids, or you know, just some type of a specific very meaningful time for you, and a certain recipe comes into play, I think what I'm going to do is try to add the picture of my son John and his cake that I made him that was like this one, and kind of make this kind of like a recipe / scrapbook of memories, you know, where we, you know, we had special times where we shared. And then if there's like a certain type of recipe, and I want to write myself a note to remind me like where this recipe came from specifically. I did that on the paper so that I would not forget. Time seems to travel so very quickly, and you know, we forget things and we get older and we don't remember things, or your kids ask you questions, and it'd be nice to be able to say, oh yeah, that recipe came from your grandma, your dad's mom. And here's another example. This was something that was my father-in-law's absolute favorite cake recipe, and as you can see, this is very old. She wrote this to me the first year that we were married, and it's for dump cake. And so I wanted to make sure that I kept the recipe in the actual handwriting that it came in. Now, one more thing that I think you kind of get my basic method without me going any further into the book. But one thing I did want to mention is that this book is great, but I noticed real fast, look how full I already am in this book. So I had another section that I realized that needed to be utilized, and that is crock pot recipes. I seem to get a lot of crock pot recipes, and as all you know that I do a simple Sunday supper. So I got another binder here, which was the one that I was using originally, and I am going to make it nothing but my crock pot meals. Then I would like, excuse me, I didn't mean to do that. One thing else that I would really like to do is to be able to make a section, or perhaps another binder for recipes that like I plan to you know, use. Like, you know, whenever you're on YouTube and somebody starts talking about a specific recipe, you immediately want to print it out. Well, you might print it out, but you know, you're not going to get to it right away. Sorry about that, my time ran out. One thing that I was saying is that when I went through this book, I realized I had a lot of extra recipes in which needed a home. What I mean is that there were recipes that I printed out, and I completely forgot that, you know, they were even there. So it was kind of nice to go through and remind myself, but to have a specific binder for those next grocery hauls, you know, that so you can remember, oh, I want to try that, or I want to make that. So you're hearing my husband and the kids are watching TV. It's Friday night, so they stay up really late. But this is awesome. Mom, if you're watching this, I finally got around to organizing this, and it's kind of embarrassing, but I'll show you guys. Can you see all this paper on the floor? This was stuff that I threw out that I never used, and some of it was messed up, and I don't even know why I was keeping it. But I guess you could say I spring cleaned in October my cookbook. So I hope y'all found this really interesting. One more thing that I did want to add to cookbooks is that if I get a new cookbook and I don't actually make anything out of it within a year, I throw it away. Unless it's something, you know, if it's seasonal, of course I'm probably going to make something out of it. But cookbooks can utilize a lot of space. And I feel like, too, that if you have a cookbook and you only make 2 things out of it, cut those 2 things out and put it in your recipe binder. It will save a lot of space and a lot of time trying to rummage through an entire cookbook to find. There's only one cookbook that I have ever got my hands on, and my mother-in-law got it for me, and it's Belle's Best. And it seems like it is the only one that I totally reference to all the time. I think that I am done for the night. It is late and I'm tired. I'm going to pack it in. So if you can see me in the window, good night everybody. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.